Welcome back to the shop. I'm Jeff from Today's Craftsman. Sure, a lot of you have this tool or one that looks like it. It might not be cordless like this one, but this is a biscuit joiner, or I always see them called the plate joiner. I don't know anyone who calls it that. I've never called it that, but something you may not have seen is this. This is a Delta 32100, and this is a stationary biscuit joiner. So it's pedal actuated, and you press the pedal down. We'll get to this. The pedal is the one awkward thing about this, but you press down the pedal and your cutter comes out. It has a big 10 amp motor on it, has a dust collection port, and has your adjustment for different size biscuits. I found this at a estate sale. I think I paid $100 for it. These, they haven't been made in a long time. I'm not sure when exactly this was made, but it has to be 20, 30 years, maybe more, that they've stopped making this. This is one of those American-made Delta tools. Has a bit of a cult following, and we don't use it all the time, but I can, show you what makes this a good choice for some operations, and maybe show you some of the things that aren't so great about it. But we'll take a closer look and cut some test joints and show you why we like it. Before we make these test cuts, show you around the machine a little bit. This right here is the height adjustment. I'm not going to touch this because we actually have this set so that it's exactly the same as our handheld biscuit joiner. So you would loosen this, and this whole carriage moves up and down. On the fence here, you have a couple lines. I have a couple lines on here too. These are, I want to say 3 inches from center. Yep. Use these as references. We'll see that in a moment. Right here we have the table tilt adjustment. So, it goes all the way to 45 degrees. On the side here is your height. So when you loosen that, you could read the gauge here and set height to the center of the cutter. This is the adjustment for the size of biscuit. So you have 20, 10, and 0. We're on 20 right now. You could switch that to 10 or 0, and it's just using a stop here, similar to a router or actually a regular biscuit joiner. So we use 20s for almost everything. Power switch here, and that's really it. It's a pretty simple tool. We have the pedal down on the floor, which is a cable drive. And as I was saying, this is sort of the worst part of the machine. I added this block because every time you push down on the pedal, my foot would get stuck underneath of this plate. And I've actually found that it's easier to use sort of sideways like this. If it was the opposite way, if the high point was in the back and you used your heel, I think it would be better. Unfortunately, they're not making this anymore, so it's fallen on deaf ears anyway. But it's like a throttle in an old car, that wire goes all the way up here, and it's literally just pulling this motor forward. So 10 amps is pretty big. That's like a lot of miters. Well, a lot of smaller miter saws would be like 10 amps. So it's a big motor spinning this cutter, so it cuts nice and clean. But we can turn it on. We'll turn on the vacuum and make a couple test cuts. Ready? Obviously, I put those sort of on opposing corners using my marks here, but you get the idea. It does leave a nice flush finish, and doing these vertical parts, it's much easier than trying to hold your biscuit joiner like this and get it to be nice and parallel to the edge. I would say if you can find one of these used, we paid $100. If you could find it for $100 or less, it's a nice tool to have. You know, it makes building cabinets really fast, and you can stay in one spot and work on everything. You know, have a table behind you, feed parts in and out. So yeah, hope you like the tool. Keep an eye out on Facebook Marketplace, eBay, and yeah, let us know what you think.
Subscribe.
I'm blanking out. Subscribe and leave a comment and give a thumbs up.
And go to Today's Craftsman and Green Street Joinery on Instagram.
Yeah, check out Today's Craftsman, Green Street Joinery, John Peters on Instagram, and get some of our merch on Amazon. We'll leave a link down in the bio.